Alright, here we go. Finally, we're going to see them get their decks up and ready to go. CJ versus versus Foxaves here.
Foxaves is not starting out with his mole deck, so we're not going to see any early shenanigans here.
No possibility for a mole rush. Although
you can still lizard 5-farm lizard shenanigans, but it's a little bit slower.
I mean, what you could do is like force him to use his better deck against the moles and lose on purpose. So he has to use his like not as good deck against the thing he doesn't want to play with, you know? That's a thought.
You still have to win the games though, so
Yeah.
that's kind of admitting that one of your deck is not going to win, and you still have to win with that deck eventually, so I don't feel like that's the best strategy.
Alright, well, waiting for... I need to quickly check what CJ's was because I messed that up completely. So I'm dumb like that apparently. So waiting for it's the mines. Okay. Well, here we go. Game number 1 between CJ and Foxaves. Who will be the first one to take the win here on game number 1 of the January campaign? In the south side, we have the Sanitarium in the red, and in the north, we have Foxaves in the yellow.
Just scanning things out. This is an interesting map. It's definitely going to come down to who controls the high ground, which I'd say Foxaves has a slight advantage if he takes one of the nearby mills, but it could be either way.
You know, CJ has some really weird options for mills. Like, he has one that's all the way out in the water, so it's like a pain to go to and protect. There's one far to his left a little bit that's safer to take, I would say, since it's out of the way. And then there's like one all the way to the south here, on like its own little corner of the world, surrounded by water and mountains.
Both players have balloons, so the height advantage might be negated, but you have to get those set up in order to be effective and be standing with your army around them. So it might be a bit restrictive.
Alright, we are going to see the 8 farm warns come out into play, so both sides taking this one really easy. Neither of the decks really going for that early aggression. So we're going to sit back and wait for them to build up their armies right now. So let me ask, how much do you think Foxes will have to worry about the explosions on CJ's deck?
Oh, you mean the owls, the vines, or the toads?
Everything. Like, what is he going to have to do against this kind of explosive deck that CJ is running?
Against his deck, I feel like you need a lot of snakes, just because if they can get past the owl, if you can have more or get past the owl mice, and you can deal with the owl, but it requires a lot of snakes and a lot of micro. And snakes won't be as damaged by toads as as lizards certainly have the potential to be. And I don't really see any other option for him right now, other than the toad swarm, which is kind of gimmicky.
Well, right now Foxaves getting a healthy mix of all 3 of his tier 1 units on the field, with the bulk of them being the lizards. Meanwhile, the Sanitarium putting down his minefield in the middle of the map there on the high ground, while grabbing his own army of squirrels and toads. And a quick look at the graph. Foxaves
he's trying to bait Foxaves into the mines.
Will he take that bait though? He probably is aware of what kind of deck CJ is running here based on some units that he is showing. So he should be playing this one a little bit carefully.
If he's done his research, he should know that there are mines in this deck.
Oh, there goes one mine. Doesn't have the big explosion that CJ would have wanted.
He goes for the mill in the river, which I'm not sure. Like, I would have gone for the northerner one.
Oh, okay. So Foxaves actually got a lot of the toad damage dealt against his lizards, and half of the lizards were gone, and the squirrels were just basically cleaning up. The mines didn't blow up in the middle of that, so he still has the minefield at ready. CJ still needs to get his toads up, and now he's going to get a chameleon onto the field as well. In the meantime, Foxaves still teching up, just building up his tier 1 army right now. Oh, he's trying to do something to that chameleon. What you doing, that chameleon, all the way over there? Trying to.
He's trying to do, like he's splitting up his army. I think he again wants the chameleon not to be hit by the toads.
Oh, he died in the middle of the battlefield, though. Foxaves is going to try to go in to try to take advantage of it. The problem is that there are too many mines there. They explode and scare away Foxaves from this. So, Insanitarium, luckily saved from that unfortunate little accident there.
He even gets up a balloon.
Now, the good thing about what Foxaves is doing is that he does have the mill all the way at the bottom of the map here. So, he is going to get some nice secret farm going on for his economy. And now it looks like Foxaves will be putting up his own balloon here. And CJ just trying to use his singular toad to dance around, but unfortunately gets picked off. And here we go, CJ trying to make his way in. He wants to get rid of that balloon before it goes out, and it's down! His chameleons make short work of it. He runs away, trying to make the rest of the army into the mines, and he succeeds! The toad explosions go off, and the chameleon still goes down! Not enough units on CJ's side to actually clean up, so both sides licking their wounds will return to their bases.
Well, Foxaves has been particularly sneaky. He has snuck an expansion that both of us mixed, and I'm sure Cjros doesn't know is there in the far south.
So, CJ just waiting for his army to come back right now. He has to be a little bit careful as Foxaves is still gathering his units. He is closer to his own base, so he gets his reinforcements faster. Here come the toad explosions. Once again, the chameleon gets taken down immediately by the explosions, cleaned up by the lizards. And now the squirrels trying to do their best to pick them off. The lizards being very preoccupied with the balloon, but now they're gone, and CJ is losing too many units to the point the mines aren't doing enough. There are two lizards still on the field, and CJ quickly trying to get his lizards back into the middle of it, but Fox is getting too many reserves coming into the party, and now they're going to focus their attention onto the mill right now, taking out one farm, and now they're going to go straight from the mill itself. In the meantime, CJ just trying to hit things off on the sidelines, but the toad kills off one of the squirrels, and that's going to be GG.
Yeah. That base in the far south that we missed, was just enough to keep Foxaves going, and it looked like Cjros had it, or Chris had it for the longest period. But even looking at the army value graph, it's Foxaves is not in favor till the very last minute.
He just got a sudden boom to his army and just immediately outnumbered CJ, and CJ was so concerned about working on the middle of the map that he just forgot to look at what Foxaves was doing on outside of his own base. Alright, so now game number 2, Foxaves in this format will be forced to use his second deck for the rest of this match. So CJ does have a bit of an advantage in that he knows what Foxaves' next deck is going to be, so he could use his chance to take advantage of it. Here we go, game number 2, CJ versus Foxaves, and their bases pretty close to each other actually, which is actually
this doesn't look like a lizard map or a mole rushing map, so
I mean you could still do a mole rush map. There's plenty of space in front of CJ's initial base to pull it off, but they're so close to each other that if CJ has units on the field, that he can easily punish Foxaves. The good thing is Foxaves is on the high ground, so it is somewhat defendable there for his initial base. And he does have some easy access to expansions in the meantime. Sanitarium's going to have to go a little bit out of his ways if he wants to go get it. And he is putting down the early Lizard Warren just in case a mole rush is on its way. The double Lizard Warren, so he is like super prepared.
Not sure. I think this is a commitment. I don't think this is a just in case play.
Try and go for those early warrens, and Foxaves is going to respond with his own early warrens as well. Both of them at the 5 farm marker. So probably some of the earliest timings that we'll see here. He even gets a machine gun nest out on the field as well. So he is ready to defend just in case. And right now, this means that both farm, their economy gains will be still pretty equal, so no one really gets a huge advantage out of this. And if you take a look at their food right now, they're basically at the same number. In the meantime,
Cjros is going to be ahead on the economy just because of that machine gun nest, and if he attacks, yeah, he swoops down below the machine gun.
Alright, here we go, trying to see how many farms he can take out this lizard. Takes out one and gets away. Half the lizard's gone, about an equal trade there for CJ.
Foxaves is going to have to sell the MG nest if he wants to keep up in the econ.
I really like how CJ's approaching the machine gun nest. He's looking at the position of the machine gun nest and just moving his units away from it completely, making it.
If he had noticed that Foxaves just killed in that moment, but Cjros didn't see it. It's been a great time to attack.
Alright, in the meantime, CJ still building up his own economy right now, finally at the 8 farm marker. Same with Foxaves, building up his own army with the squirrels. Now, what do you think about toads against squirrels with the lizards? Do you think
that toads against squirrels, if they can connect, they'll be devastating. Toads are great against any tier 1. And lizards will be able to allow the toads to get into place, but he sold it, so yeah, I guess
that's gonna be a non-factor. Going straight for the Falcons. I'm curious as to why he decided to go straight Falcons at this point. I mean, Foxave's composition doesn't really lend itself to needing Falcons quite yet. Meantime,
Chris is expanding, and it looks like Foxaves will scout it.
And both sides getting their expansions right there, although Foxaves will have information on where CJ has his expansion. And in the meantime, CJ has his own army building up, 15 lizards almost at the ready, along with a contingent of Falcons. And they're actually streaming their way over in this direction right there. And Sanitarium parks them behind that mill in front of Foxave's base. Possibly in case he wants to go for an attack, but attacking into high ground, not the best thing.
Foxaves has invested in his economy again, just like last game. And I'm not sure if Chris has scouted this. You may think he has the advantage long game.
There's a little hidden farm here on the bottom. Hidden by the trees, so it's a little bit hard to see. Meanwhile, Sanitarium trying to make his move right now, getting his units onto the high ground, scouting around. And it looks like he
attacks now.
Foxaves is not here right now to help defend, and he's going to be tearing down each and every single one of these squirrels here. The machine gun nest also going to go down here. These lizards and falcons are making short work of Foxave's base, and Sanitarium does get the mole kill onto the other base, but it may be a little bit too late because CJ has a giant army, and now they may march their way. They're going to first take out as many warrens as they can here.
The moles are marching back.
Alright, here we go, the Falcons. Nothing really going to punish the Falcons right now. And more reinforcements of the lizards are making their way forward here. One by one, Foxave's units are being cut down to pieces. In the meantime, Foxave's trying to reinforce his bottom farm with machine gun nests. He has 3 machine gun nests against the water here, and CJ has his army planted on the other side of the river.
He's not getting through this.
Now the ferret's coming out here. It's going to poke at the machine gun nests. Oh, that's game. He's going to call it GG. And with that, both sides have tied up the score. Foxaves, unfortunately, will be forced to still use the same deck, while CJ has the chance to use a different deck. His other deck that he used in the first game, so he has the surprise factor here.
Well, they should know what deck.
Not the surprise factor, but he knows what to expect. He knows what he's up against. Alright. Just waiting for them to get their loadouts ready. Unfortunately, there's a slight bug in which if you exit while they already went to the draft phase, you unfortunately don't get to see the draft. So yeah, sorry guys. But you guys know what the draft are. This is double deck format. All the decks have been decided beforehand. And Sanitarium versus Foxaves here. And Sanitarium to the south side, Foxaves to the north. Once again, Foxaves gonna have to use mole board deck. It's gonna have to think about using his money a little bit more wisely this time. Now, take a quick look around this map. This is a pretty interesting map. That middle ground and high ground mill is going to be a very important mill to capture for either side.
And it looks like it'll be slightly easier for Chris to get that because it's just slightly close. Oh, and we're going for a mole rush here.
Oh yeah, here it is. Although, Sanitarium does have units on the field already. He's also going to put on some mines, trying to distract a bit of the moles here. And Foxaves, he's going for this like interestingly desperate play. He's going to try to get the squirrel to do some damage. The moles will kill off the Warren, however, so CJ only has nothing. Oh, did they just kill the squirrel?
This looks like it'll be successful. An early Warren is not good enough against moles, it appears.
Uh-oh. We seem to have some connection error. There we go. The moles are just tearing down the Warrens that he's trying to build.
And he's,
oh!
He doesn't need to go for the jugular yet. He's content to do his damage and back out. But wait, oh no, he's building squirrels now.
In the meantime, Fox is going to build his own squirrel army. He still has 2 moles at the ready to go back just in case. Now the mole rush, not exactly the kill that we expected to see, but it did dent a huge amount in the Sanitarium's own economy. 2 farms gone, Warren's gone, units gone.
They are still even in farms, however.
Yep.
Foxaves is electing not to sell the moles. Instead, it looks like he's going to be attacking again after a short regroup.
I mean, the moles they're a pretty sturdy unit to have in any case right now. 3 attack, 20 HP, I'll take that unit pretty darn nicely. And Foxaves, he's looking for the kill right now. He's going to come in with his army. CJ has only 1 Warner Squirrel is currently up at the ready right now. Will this be enough to defend? Right now, both pigs and squirrels trying to fight for their lives right now. The moles are dead, but the mill is ticking down, and that's game! Foxaves did it with a very staggered mole rush, but he did it. Taking the win over CJ.
Very good play. That's pretty much the case of playing the deck of, if there's not a machine gun turret, you do have that timing where you can attack before they have an ability to defend against. If you go off of 2 moles instead of 3.
Alright, so good plays indeed for Foxaves. He will be moving on to the next round. He'll be joining Pigston there in the 5th place matchups. Let me see if we just update this bracket real quickly here.